Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Addie Pettis and this is Addie P's Real Estate Tea. So today's video is going to be on how to be successful in securing a rental. Just offering a few tips for you or anyone you know who are currently or are going to be looking for a rental in the near future. Don't forget, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you also like this channel and want to hear more content, please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification button to be notified of future videos. Awesome. Let's get started. So the first thing is knowing what you're working with. You want to sit down prior to going out and even looking at a rental and know exactly how much rent you can afford each month. That can be in the sense of reviewing your fixed income if you are on a fixed income, or if you work a job, okay, how much hours am I getting each week, each month, and tallying all of that up. A good rule of thumb that I always suggest is going by the 3 times rule. And what that is say the rent is $1,500 a month. $1,500 a month times 3 would be $4,500 a month or more. Okay, so in order to be comfortable and pay your rent, pay your bills, have some money, because nobody wants to be broke, okay, you want to make sure that you're bringing in $4,500 a month or more if you're getting a rental. All right, next is credit. Along with your income and knowing how much income you're working with each month for a rental, you want to make sure that you have your credit in place. And by saying that, it's not that the landlord has a specific amount of credit that you have to have, or a specific score, I should say. But obviously, the better your score is, the chances are that you're going to be more favorable to the landlord. And you're going to be in a position to appear to the landlord that you're more economically sound to afford to rent the place. So just a few tips here is one, to, if you're already not enrolled in a credit restoration program, if you're working with some credit challenges, to do so, contact a credit restoration specialist. If you have any further questions about that, please feel free to reach out to me directly. Another tip along with the lines of credit is to sign up for free outfits such as a Credit Karma. You will get alerts if there's any kind of activity on your report that maybe looks a little suspicious. They also do give you updates on your credit score, if it's gone up, if it's gone down, your payment history. If you're applying for credit cards, it'll let you know what your odds are as far as getting it. And also, if you already have credit cards, or depending on what kind of bank you go to, they may have their own system set up to alert you of your credit. So be sure to check into your credit, make sure that it's decent, fair, or better, in order to do so. And if it's not, then take the time to work on it so you can increase your odds of obtaining that rental. Next tip. Lastly, we want to talk here about rental history and how that plays a part in the landlord making his or her decision and renting to you. Now, if you have a favorable rental history, then the landlord will obviously feel a little bit more comfortable renting to you, knowing that you've paid your rental in time, you didn't destroy your last place, you weren't sneaking out in the middle of the night type deal. So they'll definitely have a better feel for that and feel more comfortable renting to you in the sense that you have a sound rental history. The longer that you've been at a previous rental will definitely play part in that, so they know that you're not hopping around. Now, obviously, we know that there are situations like, you know, if you're in the military, you're moving around, you may have a particular job that dictates and makes you move around a little bit more. So those types types of things are understandable to a landlord. And in those cases, a shorter term rental would probably be more desirable. However, in a longer term rental, which meaning a year plus, a sound rental history is key. If you don't have that, all is definitely not lost, okay? If you have maybe early termination of leases, maybe something came up and you had to move, maybe a family emergency that caused you to have to leave the rental early, those types of situations can be explained in some kind of a letter. Maybe you can even have that particular landlord, that previous landlord, explain that type of issue, and they'd be willing to kind of vouch for you and say, yes, so-and-so did unfortunately have to break their lease early because of medical issues or having to care for a loved one. So that's definitely understandable. Evictions are a different story. They're a little bit tougher to handle, but again, all is not lost. There may be a situation behind that you can explain. Also, the amount of time that eviction took place at. So if the eviction took place, say 6-7 years ago, maybe the landlord won't be so concerned. If the eviction is fresh and just took place, the landlord's definitely going to be concerned, and that's something that you will have to really explain and have a good explanation for. But again, all is not lost with that. Not saying that the landlord will not rent to you. The landlord may. They may require an additional deposit. And that's where, again, income comes in and credit history. If you don't have a sound rental history, but you have some good credit and you have more than enough income, the landlord may feel a little bit more comfortable, but they may ask for an additional deposit, which is usually equivalent to the monthly rental amount plus your security deposit. So those are some of the things that may take place if the landlord indeed does not feel too comfortable initially renting to you, going by your history, your rental history. So making sure that you have a sound rental history wherever you're at right now. If you want to continue to be a renter and you want to, say, move into a bigger rental property, maybe your family is expanding, you want to make sure that you leave in good standing. Again, no sneaking out in the middle of the night, okay? All right. So that's it for my rental tips. If you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out. Again, please click below to subscribe. Please make sure that you comment and let me know if you'd like to hear more rental tips and any other real estate related tips that I can be of assistance to you all for. Until then, have a blessed day. Take care.